The bedroom, a place where everyone seeks refuge and restoration, can harbor unexpected sources of discomfort, especially for those over 60. Right now, this secluded corner of your home may be hiding 5 factors that subtly undermine your sleep quality, health, and overall well-being. The most alarming thing is that most people are not even aware of their existence, and therefore take no action to eliminate them. But once the veil of secrecy is lifted, your view of your own bedroom will change forever. Stay with us to find out exactly which items or conditions can negatively affect your health, and why eliminating them becomes especially important in adulthood. After all, the bedroom should be an oasis of calm, a place where body and mind find rest and healing. But what if some elements in the bedroom have the opposite effect? Sleepless nights, allergic reactions, a feeling of brain fog, and even joint pain can be closely related to the microclimate and environment surrounding you every night during sleep. And here's the crux of the problem. Most people don't pay attention to these seemingly insignificant details, not realizing how serious an impact they can have on their health, especially over time. Many are probably sure of the perfect order in their bedroom, but it is worth paying attention to 5 common things that can negatively affect your well-being. Some of them may be surprising, and almost everyone makes the last mistake. Therefore, when analyzing each point, it is important to think about your own bedroom and the presence of these things. Even minor changes can have a significant impact on your daily condition. Point number 5 concerns old pillows. You need to pay attention to what a person uses every night. Before dismissively waving it off, thinking that everything is fine with the pillow, it is worth thinking about it. If the pillow is more than 2 years old, it is most likely filled with dust mites, bacteria, sweat, and even mold. The most unpleasant thing is that a person inhales all this for several hours every night. If a person wakes up with a stuffy nose, runny nose, or sore throat, it may be related to the pillow. It can cause allergic reactions, even if the person is not aware of it. Dust mites prefer warm and humid places, feeding on the smallest skin cells that a person loses during sleep. Their waste products are the cause of allergic symptoms such as sneezing, watery eyes, and a feeling of lack of rest. If your allergy gets worse at night or in the morning, your pillow may be to blame. In addition to allergic reactions, an old pillow can negatively affect the condition of the skin. It is important to realize that during each night, the pillow absorbs skin oil, sweat, and bacteria from a person's face. Day after day, the skin comes into contact with this contaminated surface. If an individual experiences rashes, irritation, or other unexplained skin problems, it is likely that the pillow, without knowing it, negates all efforts to care for it. The situation is aggravated if a person lives in a region with high humidity or is prone to excessive sweating during sleep. In such conditions, mold may begin to develop inside the pillow, invisible to the eye. At the same time, mold spores constantly enter the sleeper's respiratory tract. Prolonged exposure to mold can cause confusion, fatigue, and even problems with the respiratory system. In this regard, if the pillow has been used for more than 2 years, it is recommended to replace it. Despite the habit and comfort that it can give, health is more important. It is advisable to purchase a new pillow, preferably hypoallergenic, resistant to dust mites and mold. Alternatively, if a replacement is not yet planned, you should use a protective pillowcase and wash it regularly. This small change can significantly improve the situation. For those who strive to improve sleep quality, improve skin health, and reduce allergic reactions, replacing the pillow will be the first step towards achieving these goals. The result will not be long in coming. The 4th aspect that deserves attention is the chaos lurking under your bed. Of course, this space seems like an ideal haven for things because it is easily accessible, hidden from view, and does not require constant attention. However, paradoxically, such storage can negatively affect the quality of your sleep, and you may not even realize it. Think about how often you clean under your bed. If you are like most people, then most likely not often enough. That is why dust, pathogens, and even mold thrive in this secluded corner. Every night while you sleep, you unwittingly inhale everything that has accumulated under you. If you wake up with a stuffy nose, a runny nose, or exacerbated allergies, it's highly likely that the clutter under your bed is to blame. Dust mites, those invisible inhabitants, feed on dead skin cells that you shed while sleeping, and their waste products are a potent allergen. If you're constantly bothered by a runny nose, dry throat, or sneezing fits in the morning, it might not be a cold, but a polluted sleep environment. But the problem isn't limited to allergic reactions. Storing things under your bed also hinders normal air circulation. Constant circulation is essential for maintaining fresh, clean air in the bedroom. However, when the space under your bed is filled with storage containers, old clothes, and other items, it traps stale air right beneath you. This means you're breathing in stuffy, recycled air all night instead of fresh, clean oxygen. Have you ever woken up feeling sluggish and tired even after a full night's sleep? Poor air circulation could be one of the reasons. Most people rarely consider that the clutter around them has its own energy. Hasn't it happened that when entering a cluttered room, one experiences a sudden feeling of depression? The subconscious mind registers chaos even when we are asleep. Sleep specialists and energy practitioners claim that accumulating unnecessary items under the bed can provoke anxiety and even negatively affect dreams. We may not always realize it, but clutter can send signals to the body that we are in a restless place. In this regard, there is an urgent need to audit the space under the bed. If it's full of things, you should immediately start clearing it out. Ideally, this area should be completely free, or at the very least, used for storing clean and neatly organized items in airtight containers. The more open and clean the space is, the deeper and more peaceful the sleep will be. It's worth conducting an experiment for just one night. Remove everything unnecessary, thoroughly vacuum under the bed, and spend the night in a perfectly clean place. The result can be striking. One will feel rested and full of energy. It's not necessary to take anyone's word for it. It's worth checking this out on your own experience and seeing for yourself the validity of these statements. Thirdly, it is worth paying attention to scented candles and air fresheners. It would seem, who would refuse a bedroom filled with pleasant aromas? Entering a room that smells of fresh linen, delicate vanilla, or soothing lavender creates an atmosphere of comfort and relaxation. However, few people think about the fact that these seemingly harmless interior items can do more harm than good. Unconsciously, they can disrupt sleep and negatively affect health. It is important to understand that inhaling these artificial fragrances for a long period of sleep does not go unnoticed. Most of them are saturated with synthetic chemicals that do not disappear along with the smell. They remain in the air, settle on bedding, and even on the walls. Frequent morning headaches, sore throats, or nasal congestion may be caused not only by allergies or weather conditions, but also by exposure to these chemicals in the bedroom. Many candles and air fresheners contain volatile organic compounds, VOCs. VOCs have a negative impact on the lungs, irritate the mucous membrane of the nose, and can disrupt hormonal balance. People suffering from allergies, asthma, or other respiratory diseases are particularly vulnerable, as these chemicals can exacerbate their condition. The problem does not disappear after the candle is extinguished or the use of the air freshener is stopped. Chemical substances are absorbed into bedding, carpets, curtains, continuing to affect the body even after the smell ceases to be felt. Every night during sleep, the body is exposed to toxins, which can be the cause of morning fatigue and exhaustion. It is not necessary to give up the pleasant aroma in the bedroom. It is enough to show a conscious approach. Instead of artificial air fresheners, it is worth paying attention to essential oils, sprayed with a diffuser. Lavender, eucalyptus, and mint will not only fill the room with delightful aromas, but also help to relax, contributing to better sleep. Lovers of candles are advised to replace paraffin products with synthetic fragrances with natural candles made of beeswax or soy, enriched with essential oils. In this case, you can avoid exposure to chemicals and toxins, enjoying a pure and natural aroma. There is a secret that is often overlooked: indoor plants. Certain species like aloe vera, snake plant, sansevieria, and peace lily possess the ability to purify the air, filling the space with a fresh and natural aroma. Unlike chemical air fresheners that merely mask odors, these plants actively remove toxins from the air, making it easier to breathe and promoting more restful sleep. It's recommended to carefully examine your bedroom. If it contains scented candles, electric air fresheners, or fragranced sprays, you should study their ingredients. Upon discovering artificial chemicals and fragrances, it's necessary to make changes. The bedroom should be a place of rest and rejuvenation, not a space filled with hidden toxins. Make the transition to natural scents, and the results won't be long in coming. Improved sleep and overall well-being. Experimenting for a week will allow you to see this for yourself. Secondly, it's worth mentioning heavy, dense curtains often used for darkening rooms. At first glance, it seems logical that such curtains, creating complete darkness, contribute to better sleep. They should block any ray of light, allowing the body to fully rest. However, paradoxically, these same curtains can cause feelings of fatigue, lethargy, and sluggishness, even if a person isn't aware of it. The fact is that the human body relies on natural light to regulate sleep-wake cycles. Morning sunlight signals the brain to stop producing melatonin, the hormone responsible for drowsiness, and stimulates the production of serotonin, which increases energy and improves mood. When the room remains plunged into total darkness, the body lingers longer in sleep mode than necessary. This is why sometimes there is a feeling of being broken even after a long sleep. Have you noticed that it's easier to oversleep in a completely dark room? This is not accidental, but a natural consequence of the lack of a light signal about the onset of morning. But it's not just the sleep schedule that suffers. Heavy curtains impede air circulation, which can make the bedroom stuffy and uncomfortable. If a person wakes up feeling sluggish with a stuffy nose or simply feels unrested, the cause may not be the mattress or pillow, but the air quality in the room. Blocked airflow contributes to the accumulation of dust and humidity, which in turn can cause fatigue throughout the day. You may have never thought about it, but an excessive fondness for dimness in a room can negatively affect your emotional state. Natural light is one of the most effective means to increase vitality and overcome feelings of fatigue or apathy. Under the influence of sunlight, the body activates the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that contributes to a feeling of vigor, concentration, and even happiness. However, if the room is constantly plunged into darkness, the body is deprived of this necessary impulse. That's why you may experience feelings of lethargy, decreased motivation, or even mild depression, sometimes for no apparent reason. What should be done in this situation? It's not about giving up privacy or complete darkness at night. You just need to find the optimal balance. Instead of dense, opaque curtains that keep the room in twilight around the clock, you should pay attention to light, translucent fabrics. They will provide sufficient protection from light at night, promoting restful sleep, but at the same time will let in the all-important morning rays of the sun, helping the body wake up naturally. If a complete replacement of curtains isn't in the plans, you should start small. Open them immediately after waking up. Allow the sun's rays to fill the room, let in fresh air, and give the body the necessary signals to feel invigorated and restored. Experiment for a few days and evaluate the result. You may be surprised at how much more energy you have in the mornings. The first enemy of healthy sleep is electronic devices, especially the mobile phone. It may be difficult to admit, but if you're used to falling asleep and waking up hugging your phone, it's time to get rid of this habit. It's likely that the phone has become the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see before going to bed. Familiar with the situation when you say to yourself, just take a peek, and end up losing track of time? It's important to understand that the phone subtly destroys your sleep, and you may not even realize it. The human brain relies on natural light to regulate sleep-wake cycles. However, the blue light emitted by the phone screen misleads the brain, creating the illusion of daylight. As a result, the body stops producing melatonin, the hormone responsible for the feeling of drowsiness. Instead of relaxing, the brain remains in a state of heightened alert. If you often toss and turn in bed despite being tired, know that it's your phone playing tricks, disrupting your natural sleep cycle. But the sleep troubles don't end there. Even when the realm of Morpheus finally embraces you, the ever-present phone continues its subversive activities. Unexpected notifications, treacherous vibrations, the ingrained habit of checking the time in the quiet of the night. Each seemingly insignificant intrusion pulls a person out of the saving depths of sleep, sometimes even imperceptibly. That's why waking up often brings not the long-awaited vigor, but only a feeling of exhaustion, despite what seems like a full 8 hours of rest. The insidious gadget doesn't allow you to reach that deep, continuous sleep that the body so desperately needs. It's likely that an argument has already arisen in your head. But I use my phone as an alarm clock. This argument is heard. However, there is a simple and elegant solution. Keep your phone at a respectful distance. Let it charge on the other side of the room, or even better, in another room. If the presence of a phone nearby seems vital, you should at least put it in airplane mode and place it screen down. And for those who are used to relying on it as an alarm clock, there is a wonderful alternative: good old-fashioned alarm clocks. They still exist and, unlike a phone, won't insidiously ruin your sleep. It's worth conducting an experiment just for 1 week. No phones in bed, no scrolling through the feed before bed. Just real, complete rest. The result may amaze you. Sleep quality will noticeably improve, and waking up in the morning will bring a surge of energy and vigor. It's worth a try. The gratitude will not be long in coming. It is worth considering how many of these items surround you in your own bedroom right now. If you find more than a few, don't panic and try to change everything at once, but you can start small. For example, replace an old pillow, move the phone away from the bed, and get rid of unnecessary clutter. The bedroom should be a personal refuge, a place where the body and mind can truly relax and unwind. By making these minor adjustments, you will definitely feel positive changes. If you found this information helpful, please like this video and share it with friends who may find it useful. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to stay healthy and full of energy for many years to come. See you in the next video.